Hello, Joel. Hello, Fletch.
Yeah.
Jeez, I've had a bludger of a day.
Why? I thought you'd be up and about.
Fletch. You know, I've been waking up every night about 3:30 having panic attacks about Paris going over. I do. As you get older, you just get I don't know, I have this strange anxiety. Anyway, I'm a catastrophist, so there's all these things I've got to take, these little knick-knack things, and you know, I just get paranoid about losing them, and then on top of that, they said you've got to be really careful. It's pickpocket capital over there. I'm like, oh no, I know what's going to happen. So anyway, just go with me here because I'm not at all tech savvy, and Fletch will back this up. So when I do rundowns and whatnot, I always write it longhand because I'm blind as well. So nice big font. So I went to Officeworks this morning and got myself some new pens, some highlighters.
You love your highlighters, don't you?
I love
You're a
them.
mad
I'm
highlighter.
Sick for them.
Yeah.
I got myself a new stapler.
Yeah.
And I got myself a pencil case, right, to pay. So anyway, I go up and I pay and all good. And anyway, the lady there didn't give me a bag, so I'm sort of juggling it down there. I go to Warringah Mall because I'm going to Warringah Mall because I'm going to get myself a hat because it's supposed to be hot there. I get to Warringah Mall, I go to pay. There's no wallet.
Oh.
So I've gone, what? So I've driven back to Officeworks. No wallet there. Scoured the car park. Nothing.
Yuck.
So I've had to cancel all my cards.
Oh.
As Trish cancelled the last card, I get a phone call from Warringah Mall. We found your wallet was handed in. It was in the car park. I was like, oh, no. So, guys, I'm right behind the 8 ball.
Oh,
and, mate,
no.
I'm not proud of the way I carried on when I got home. I was throwing things around. My oldest son, Jack, was like, this is a side of you I've never seen. I said, get used to it, brother. It's just been awful. It's been an awful day.
There's nothing worse than that feeling of losing your wallet.
No, I know.
There's nothing worse.
I don't think Matthew...
I did it in Canny Nagus too. I had the travel card in Canny Nagus.
That's right.
Lost it first night.
Yeah.
Hey, I can't imagine Matty is the double click on the phone type with the cards attached to your phone.
No.
He
needs to have the hard copy.
Mate, I love it all. I love the hard copy. I still read the Daily Telegraph.
Yeah.
The paper.
Yep.
Like that ink on the fingers. The smell as you turn the page.
What about dates? Do you keep your calendar on your phone, or have you got a diary?
Or a
calendar?
I just remember. I tell people and say, look, we need you here for this date. And I said, mate, just can you send me a text the day before because, I don't have a diary or anything like that. Simple. I liken it like this, boys. Right, is that when you come too reliant on something? 2 examples I'll give you. Number one, when you're a footballer and you get your ankles strapped. What that makes you is your ankles weaken because you're basically supporting the tendons and ligaments all the time, so they weaken. Same thing, as soon as I had my eyesight was a little bit ordinary, as soon as I start wearing reading glasses, it just completely goes to shit.
I agree with that.
Now, and the same thing, my memory's good, but if I start having diaries and stuff like that, I've got a concern that too will deteriorate.
Right. Well, it's like yogurt. You got to eat yogurt.
Yeah.
You know that?
No.
You need yogurt. Yogurts, and don't have your Yakult.
Why?
Because your Yakult's no good. You need just plain organic yogurt.
For what?
For your guts.
Gut
Because your
health.
brain and your gut are linked. And your memory, believe it or not, your memory has a lot to do with a healthy gut.
Really?
Definitely.
Wow.
I've looked into this because I get a bit of brain fog. And the testosterone cream that I'm on now, it's all coming together, boys.
Is it?
It was working well last night.
I tell you what,
Especially I was on that conversation.
well, I tell you what, Fletch, I'm rooming with Missile over there in
Oh,
Vegas.
you'll have the Mickey.
And sorry,
you'll have the
Vegas.
grouse.
Paris. So, mate, I'm thinking about, mate, I might come back a completely different bloke.
Yeah.
I might be 100 kilos and, mate, 2% body fat. I might have a little bit of crack at these roids for the enhanced games.
Absolutely.
I might come back and, mate, get a start next year's Origin Series.
That's right. That's right. Hey, tell me, Matty, what's we're just watching some of the clips and with Paris. Geez, the security's going to be big these days, isn't it?
Yeah, there will be, Joel. There was the incident the other day. They didn't put down to a terrorist attack. They said someone mental illness stabbed her. I think it was an army officer. In the street, yeah. Look, it's high alert. Paris has had a lot of dramas in the last 5 years, and in particular, like Marseille. I read something the other day. Marseille was the second most dangerous city in Europe, and Bradford was number one in the north of England. But it's funny, mate. And on the news last night, they were saying that what's amazing is tourism is down in Paris at this time of the year. Wow. Rather than people just, hoarding, hordes of people arriving at the place, they said it's quiet.
Wow.
So I wouldn't mind if it stayed the same, but I think once the games gets underway, it'll be pretty chaotic.
Make sure you watch that sprint.
Yeah, you got to watch. I've got to watch it.
You've got to watch before you go. You have to.
I'll watch it tonight.
Okay.
So going down to Marseille to watch the Matildas. Going to go to Lille to watch the Boomers. I'm going to go to the breakdancing. I'm going to go to the skateboarding. Luke Cavell's daughter's in the skateboarding.
She's a gun.
So I am looking forward to it, boys.
Hey, Matty, just on last night, and Fletch and I were talking about this. How many games have you seen a game where so many players played so well? It was a high standard, wasn't it?
It was awesome. I can't remember a game that is so that was so attack minded, that was so fast and so intense, but stayed 0-0 till like a minute or so before half time. It was an incredible game. It's funny, like Dylan Edwards is unbelievable. When we spoke about Teddy before, him coming in for Teddy, and we reiterated numerous times, boys, it's not about Teddy and not being good enough. No. It was just that the Blues needed a change of formula. That's what they needed. And Dylan came in and did that, mate. Like Reece Walsh can blow you apart and Kalen Ponga with one moment of brilliance. But Dylan Edwards, it's just death by 1,000 cuts. He just keeps going through that middle third, spinning, beating the big blokes. He's just enormous. And Brian Tutto last night, even when meterage was impossible, he still found a way to get forward and get on his front. Best player I thought the best player in the field was Jarome Luai. Was, mate, just. Fletch, a couple of times he put kicks in, early kicks that got us repeat sets. Mate, his defence, he was all over Daly Tree Evans. It was the best defensive game I've ever seen him play, and he came up with a big play at the end there.
What about that, Matty, that break you're talking about? So he makes a break, and within 10 metres...
offload, from the offload.
So the class of this, right, so within 10 metres, he's got Bradman and Best about 8 metres behind him. And then that next 10 metres, he just slows his tempo right up. And then just enough for Bradman Best to arrive and goes bang. It was super classy.
It was clever, wasn't it? It was really clever. Just, pulled off the gas, and to prolong, the engagement with Reece Walsh to give Bradman time to catch up. Really classy. My 3-2-1 for the game, my 3-2-1 at half time was 3 points Tom Dearden, 2 points Jarome Luai, 1 point Spencer Laniu. And I'd say at full time I go 3 points Jarome, 2 points Dylan Edwards, and I go 1 point Dearden. Geez, mate, Dearden was up for the fight. He was brilliant.
But they all, Carrigan was awesome, Cotter was awesome. Every single Blue, Lomax, Toto.
It was just obvious that their two best players, arguably Walsh and Ponga, they were just too short of a run.
Yep.
Ponga especially, he was blowing after 5 minutes, and we say I thought they were terrific, Queensland, in the first. Obviously, they were in the first. They were leading 2-0.
Yep.
And I did get a feeling. I was thinking to myself, could they do it? But they just did too much tackling.
Yep.
And we were just physically. Angus Crichton looked as fresh in the last minute as he did in the first minute. I don't know what he's been doing in the off-season or not this season.
Every time he played the ball, he got up and would give like a Queenslander a shove or something. Yeah. He was on the bit all game. The other bloke, I was just thinking of I was thinking there for a second.
Barney? Richie Barney?
Mate, he was good. Jeez, he was good, Barney. I was sitting with a young bloke, Jack, who knows Barney very well, played with him at Newcastle, and I said, my thoughts about Barney, I said, Jack said, mate, he's made for this. And I said, my only concern, Jack, is that sometimes you take a player who's been great at club level but just can't quite make that next step. That was my concern. But Barney was fantastic. His aggression. What else? I tell you what, Kalen, what's really interesting, boys, in this camp, what's been really interesting is that, number one, we've spoken about this, Billy being irritated. I really think it's the presence of Madge. I think when Madge was appointed, I think Billy, because Billy's got so much respect for Madge and he was coached by Madge, I reckon Billy thought, mate, it's on here. Like, I'm really going to have to be at the very top of my game. And then when Madge started throwing barbs. But what's interesting from a Queensland point of view is the leaking was really, really interesting. Now, I remember a couple of years ago, right, was when Gagai wasn't named in the side. It might have been last year. It was last year. Gagai wasn't named in the side. Now, leading up to that game, I kept hearing all the time, mate, Gagai's not going to be in the team. Word within the Queensland camp, he's not going to be picked. And I just refused to believe it. They said, no, they're going to go with Hammer in the centres. And I said, I just can't believe that. Anyway, that's how it turned out. And I made the point. I said publicly, I can't believe they haven't picked Gagai. I'm happy as a New South Welshman, but I think what he's done for the state, he deserves to be picked. Anyway, Billy did send me a text and said, listen, Matty, I'm just letting you know that the decision wasn't made till we picked the side. And my thing to Billy was, well, Billy, I was told about it a week ago. So there's some leaking going on, and we know about the press conference situation where Denny Widler come out and said that there was a fallout between Billy and Selwyn Cobbo. Now, again, like, Billy totally denied it. I don't know if it's true, but in my opinion, Denny would not report on a stablemate at Channel 9 if it didn't hold up.
Yeah.
Right? That's my opinion. So again, I go, okay, who is in the inner sanctum of Queensland that is leaking? I think that's what. Yeah, that's one of the things that I have found really unusual this series.
We'll leave you with a text just before we go, Matty, and we're talking about Mitch Barnett, Brian, missing the birth of his second child to go to Blues training.
Yeah.
Sean the Trader come on with odds for next year. You said give us odds for 2035, and this text came through.
This is great, yeah. So this fella here, Jackie, can I have $20 on Mitch Barnett's second kid for first try scorer in 2047? Imagine a Mitch clone with a great big chip on his shoulder, hammering into the line screaming, "You Queensland bastards made my old man miss my birth." That could be the call. That could be the text.
That's brilliant stuff. Good on you, mate. We'll chat soon.
Good on you, boys. Sorry I was late to the punch. I was up there just...
you're thinking about your wallet. You're thinking about your wallet.
Mitchell Allgood.
Was there any folding? Was there any folding in the wallet, Matthew?
We've got to go. Tourists is off the bit.
There wasn't.
Right,
put him in the pokies anyway. If you got